The ceasefire between the US and Iran stands threatened as both sides traded over 170 devastating missile strikes, crippling critical infrastructure, halting vital rail lines, and instantly driving oil prices up. Pakistan has appealed to all sides to return to the negotiating table, once again holding out hope for the world that peace can still be salvaged. The latest strikes between the US and Iran on Wednesday were the most severe since the signing of the ceasefire memorandum in mid-June. Iran's health ministry reports 14 people killed and 78 injured across 5 provinces over the 2 days of strikes. The US Central Command said later that they had struck approximately 90 military targets. US President Donald Trump says this was retribution for the IRGC strikes on 3 tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, and all of this transpired on the 3rd day of Supreme Leader Khamenei's funeral, which was in Iraq and arrived in Mashhad today. The train lines between Tehran and Mashhad have currently been suspended due to the strikes. In addition to the strikes, Trump revoked the sanctions waiver on Iranian oil exports, and speaking at the NATO summit in Ankara, he declared the ceasefire to be over.
To me, I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore, they're scum.
Though he did add that negotiations could still continue. He also said that the US may resume its naval blockade and floated the idea of the US taking over Iran's Kharg Island, which is a key oil export terminal. Iran responded with strikes on US positions in Bahrain and Kuwait. A US military official said that the Iranian strikes caused no American casualties or major damage. But Iran's chief negotiator, Parliamentary Speaker Mohammad Bakir Ghalibaf, responded with 3 words: "We don't fold." Iran's foreign ministry denounced the US strike, including on 2 railway bridges, and rejected Washington's justification that they were retaliation for attacks on Hormuz shipping, calling it a false pretext. Now, at the center of this conflict is one clause in the ceasefire agreement. It commits Iran to ensuring safe passage of commercial vessels through Hormuz. Tehran interprets that as its own exclusive control, deciding which vessels get safe passage, whereas Washington interprets it as unrestricted passage for all shipping. That gap in interpretation is what's driving these renewed strikes. On the other hand, Pakistan's Foreign Office, which hosted the original peace talks, issued a statement expressing deep concern over this escalation and called all sides to exercise restraint. It described the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding as an enduring foundation for understanding, mutual respect, and shared prosperity for the region, and said that there was no alternative to continued dialogue. Also, Qatar's Prime Minister called Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi directly, urging both sides to recommit to diplomacy and implement the agreement that they had signed. Iran acknowledged the conversation and underscored the importance of using diplomatic means to resolve regional issues. Now, as a consequence of the strikes, oil prices shot up to $78 a barrel, while shipping traffic through the Strait of Hormuz slowed to a near standstill. The head of International Maritime Organization warned roughly 6,000 sailors are still stranded around the waterway. Gulf states are reportedly pressing Europe and China for further pressure on Iran. And right now, no one can really say with certainty whether these strikes will lead to further escalation, but for now, mediators like Pakistan are once again urging to uphold the MOU.